Welcome to our video on pricing and timesheets. This video will show you different ways to price projects for clients. However, we will not talk about pricing for internal payroll purposes. We start in Tom's timesheet. Here we see we have 3 projects which represent 2 contract types, the fixed fee contract and the time and materials contract. Let's start with the fixed fee project. We type in our time like so. It's important to note that the fixed fee project in this example is using the fixed fee contract. We've typed our hours in, we can hit save. This contract type is defined by a schedule of payments, which we see by going to our menu, clicking Finances and Schedule of Payments. Here we see that payment for this project is set up as 3 payments: the initial payment, the scheduled payment 1, and a final payment, which is billed over a 3-month period for a total contract value of $15,000. It's important to note that earned revenue for this project is based on member pricing, and for this project, member pricing for Tom is defined by going to Plan and Members, and here we have Tom as a member right here, and his rate has been defined as $200 per hour. Keeping track of this earned revenue will allow you to see if the fixed fee contract has more value or less value than the same project would be if it were using a different contract type, such as time and materials. Let's go back to our timesheet. And the next project we're going to discuss will be the price list, which is a role-based pricing model. And here we see our price list options. And so we will put in 1 hour for Tom. And on this hour, he was working as a consultant. However, he then worked not as a consultant, but as a drafter. And so to adjust our pricing to our client, we can simply go over here to Price List, click, and select Drafter. We hit Save. So to set up or change the price list rules, we can go up here to Contracts. Let's pin down this menu, clicking here, select Price Lists. And here we see all of our rules for this project defined. We click on General Price List. We have a general price list. We can have more than one. Here we see that for a consultant, the rate is $125 per hour. For a drafter, the rate is $80 per hour. If we want to adjust a rate, we just click on it like so. We also have the ability to create a customer-specific price list, such as the one that we have created for Berkeley Investments, which is essentially a pre-agreed upon price list specific to a project. Let's go back to our timesheet. And so we see that so far we've put in 1 hour for a fixed fee project. This is defined by a schedule of payments. However, the revenue is earned based on member pricing, and for this project, Tom's rate is $200 per hour. Here for the price list project, pricing is based off of roles, and his role as a consultant is billed at $125 per hour. His rate as a drafter is $80 per hour. Now the next project is time and materials. So let's activate the time and materials project by selecting it here. And we'll go to timesheet. This project type has different ways of pricing. We can price by task, we can price by activity, or we can price by member. So let's look at the member pricing, which allows us to assign pricing based on a team member's rates for this project. And so for Tom, we'll put in an hour here, type in a note, time and materials, member. We'll save. For this project, Tom's member pricing is defined over here in our member category as $100 per hour. Back to our timesheet. Now we can override this by task pricing. So let's assume that for this project, he now, instead of working as a consultant, we're gonna bill him at overtime paid by the customer, 1 hour. Let's type in our note. And then he spent some time traveling. So we'll just find travel. Type in our note. We'll save. So we've basically overrid member pricing for a specific task. And we can go to find the definitions and rules. We can go up here to resources and projects and tasks. And here we see tasks for which we can assign prices for. So let's go to overtime paid by customer. And here we see it's pricing based on task. And it's an hourly rate for project team members multiplied by 1.5. So this means that the rate for this particular task is going to be billed at 1.5 times Tom's $100 member pricing, or $150 per hour. For travel time, let's go take a look at travel time. It's pricing by task. Now it's a fixed hourly rate by task of $50 per hour. So no matter which member is using this task, it'll always be billed at $50 per hour. We can price according to activities, such as here with our hourly rate on activities. So let's do just that. We'll put an hour here. Time and materials. And sometimes we can double click if we have any issues to write our notes. Hourly. So this allows us to assign a fixed hourly rate, such as in this case we'll set it to $125 per hour for this activity, no matter which resource is working on it and no matter what task is used. And so we can take a look at this by going over here under our project, plan, activities. And here we have our hourly rate on activity. We click it. We can select pricing for this particular activity. And here we see it's pricing based on activity, not on task. And it's a fixed hourly rate of $125 per hour. So let's go back to our timesheet. So we'll save it. We didn't save this. Okay. So as a quick overcap, we have the fixed fee, which is based on member pricing. And here that is set to $200 per hour. We have our price list, which is role-based pricing for consultants. That is $125 per hour. As a drafter, that's $80 per hour. For time and materials, here we have member pricing. Member pricing here is $100 per hour. We have overtime paid by customer, which we set to 1.5 multiple of member, which is $150 per hour. We have our travel time, which is $50 per hour for every member. And we have our fixed hourly rate of $125 per hour for every member. We can view this and verify all of these rules by going to tracking and transactions. And now we have all transactions in our system. We can filter by date and by resource. So let's do that. We will filter for the time period of our timesheet, which is the 24th of January through the end of that week, which is the 28th. We'll update, and then we'll just scroll over and we'll do a quick filter by resource, which was Tom. His code is VLE. And now we will scroll back over and we can verify our rates. Our fixed fee at $200, our price list consultant at $125, our price list at drafter at $80, our member pricing at $100, our overtime at $150, our travel at $50, and our hourly fixed at $125. As you see, pricing with our software is incredibly easy and very efficient. Thank you.